Hello, this is Richard Bennett with Greg and Donna Jouglard, and this show is the Vocations. Greg and Donna, welcome.
Thank you, Richard.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And since Greg is a 1980 graduate of MacArthur High School, we put out the red tablecloth.
Very nice.
Donna, where did you graduate high school?
I graduated from high school at Westwood in Austin.
Austin, Texas.
Yes.
Well, Greg is an Irving boy, and Donna is from Austin. Well, where did you all meet?
We met in Dallas, Texas. I was working at a copier company as a service manager, and Donna transferred from Austin up to Dallas, and that is where we met and fell madly in love and lived 25 marital years of bliss.
Well, 25 years is pretty good. It's almost to the point where I don't think of Greg or Donna as a single person anymore. I think of them both as one. I mean, well, I know you're married.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
Greg, you had a lot of different skills before you decided to become a missionary, and I know you worked with computers for a while. Mm-hmm. What else have you worked with?
I was a broadcast engineer with KHCB out of Houston, Texas. It's a radio network that has about 45 outlets now. And I did a lot of the engineering. I did a lot of the repairing on the radio station equipment, and along with some IT at the station. But the majority of my background is IT and IT management.
I know you can put a computer together by yourself,
Not anymore.
They're different.
Yeah, they've changed a lot since I did that, but now I rely on other people.
Okay, they become a little more compact now.
Yes. Yeah, everything is on one board as opposed to like building your own. It's just it's changed a lot.
Yeah.
Donna, what did you do
So
before becoming a missionary?
So most of my working career was in accounting and contract administration. So I did a lot of work with numbers and math.
Okay. Yeah. So you chase down money. Is that what you did?
Yeah, I'm the money person.
Okay. Now, when and why? When did you decide to become missionaries, and why?
I graduated from the College of Biblical Studies in 2012 at the ripe old age of 50 with a degree in Biblical Studies. And when I was in the process of graduating, a lot of people were really excited, and they were saying, yeah, Greg, you're going to be a pastor, and you're going to lead a church, and it'll be awesome, and we want to come to your church. Well, God had other plans. I was working at the radio station at that time, and I met a couple of missionaries from Tunisia. Well, they guided me to a website where it's kind of a clearinghouse of missions organizations where they get the people from. So I checked it out and filled out their application, and it was really amazing and just crazy for me, because at that first week we had probably 12 or 14 different mission organizations saying, hey, you have skills in engineering and IT, and you also now have the biblical studies portion. And so we had literally a lot of organizations, asking us to come join them. Well, we gathered a group of people from our church around. We prayed a whole lot about really, discernment and where God would use us. And we narrowed it down to 2 organizations. And ultimately, we decided to go with Global Outreach Mission, simply because they had a position open in outside of Marseille, France, doing a radio broadcast program every day to the Francophone world. And so it was kind of it felt like a good fit. And, like I said, we prayed a whole lot with a bunch of people, and we felt God leading us there. And it was really interesting because we felt the connection to that, and because my family background is obviously French.
Right. In fact, your dad grew up in a French-speaking household.
He did. He did. My grandmother and grandfather, I mean, all of his brothers and sisters spoke French.
I remember hearing them, but your dad was the only one who didn't learn the language.
Yeah, because at that time, the schools in Louisiana were switching to English. And so he never got to learn French.
Well,
I would have loved to grow up learning French instead of learning it in my 50s.
That's right. Be bilingual when you're young.
Yeah, it's a lot easier.
Yes.
And so, yeah, it was a God thing. But I mean, it was really interesting because we went to an orientation with Global Outreach Mission. And there was a need for someone with my skills in the Congo. And at that time, we were still posted to go to France. And I told the gentleman who asked me to join him in Congo, I said, well, no, we're going to France. And literally 3 weeks after that conversation, God closed the door in France. Someone else took the post that was prepared and ready to go. And so then it was like, oh.
I remember that. I remember that big switch. All of a sudden, you're going to the Congo, and I'm going, Congo? That's not France.
Yeah.
Do they speak French there?
Yeah.
Okay.
They speak French. I mean, more, in France you can get away with a little bit of English and be okay. In Congo, nobody spoke English. It was all French or, Lingala, Kituba. I mean, a lot of different tribal languages.
And you still had to learn French.
Yeah.
Where did you go for this? For the French.
I'll let Donna cover that one.
So we were accepted as missionaries when we went to the orientation. And then after that, we started raising our support. And then in 2014, we had enough together to move to Quebec, Canada. So we sold our house and everything and moved to Quebec. And we spent a year there going to French class full-time, 5 days a week, and learning French.
You were immersed.
Yes, very much.
Yeah.
And since Quebec, the province, that's their national language. So not only in school, but then you speak French out, in public, in the restaurants, and everywhere you go. So yes, it was definitely an immersion situation where.
So
you can speak the language fairly good now, fairly well?
Oui, je pense je parle en français quelquefois entre nous, mais je pense aussi mon français est peut-être intermédiaire.
Okay. Well, I understood bits and pieces because of your handling.
Yeah. In other words, I speak French. We speak French periodically at our house, and right now we're at what would be considered the intermediate level. And of course, we're still going to go to more schooling so that we can advance our language skills.
Do your relatives still speak French?
None of the ones that I know here in the United States do.
Okay.
I've reached out to a few with the same last name, Jouglard.
In
so
France.
at some point there's a relation, and of course they speak French.
Now I can remember seeing a photograph of everything that you owned in one picture, and that was your car and your U-Haul.
Yes.
and your pets.
Yes.
Now, what was it like going from, I know you've owned houses and motorcycles and swimming pools, but not movie stars.
Yeah.
No.
But you did, you had a couple of motorcycles, and one of you had a Mini Cooper, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I had a Mini. Yes.
Now, what was it like to give up all that stuff? You had the American dream.
Yes. It was actually quite freeing. I mean, when we decided to leave for Quebec, we put the house on the market, and some people had talked to us about possibly just renting it and keeping the house, but to us it just seemed like a headache. So we decided to sell the house. We had 2 garage sales, and everything left the house. And we kept, sentimental things and photographs and pictures and certain things, necessities like dishes and stuff. But everything else left the house, and we sold the house. And after everything was gone, it was kind of a a freeing feeling, like, okay, God, I get it. We're supposed to be mobile and not be tied down to any set thing. So when we left for Quebec, we left with everything we owned. And yeah, everything we owned was in a
Wow.
5x8 U-Haul trailer.
So remember that if you want to be a missionary, people.
Yeah, for me, it kind of, leads to when Jesus first called the disciples, he said, cast down your nets. And there's a reason for that, I think, because if there's ties to things or, worldly possessions, then I think sometimes they get in the way of us being faithful. Because as we all know, faith is not something that's planned out. It's one step at a time, and I like Donna. It was very peaceful and freeing to basically sell everything we own and follow Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, those are good reasons. I heard a priest say one time, I travel light, I travel fast.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. You
Yes.
pick up and go.
Father Selleck from the U.S. Air Force in Florida.
Yeah.
Yes.